We've been telling you about the Charleston Wine and Food Festival all week, and sadly today is the last day to enjoy all that it has to offer. But don't worry, there is still a lot happening today. Joining me in studio to talk more about it is Chris Bennett. Now, Chris, you are a forager. Forager. All morning I've been having a problem saying this word. But it's so interesting because you basically share with people the plants that are located here in the Lowcountry you can find. Some of them can be used in making food.
Yes, so
adding more to your food.
Right, so foraging is a great way to supplement your diet. You can't just live off of wild edibles, but it's a great fun way to find plants and fruits and things like that that have flavors and textures you can't get anywhere else. And so that's really exciting whether you're a cook at home or a chef in one of the restaurants here.
Now, there's a difference that Chris was telling me about folks who cultivate their food, meaning, you plant a tree and then use that product to help cook. But a forager actually uses things that nobody has cultivated. They're just there within your land. Right.
So foraging is essentially gathering anything that grows outside that is not actively cultivated. So it could be a weed in your flower bed, or it could be a random tree that's just growing in your backyard, or just different plants that grow down at the beach. The great thing about wild edibles is that they grow everywhere. And it's kind of a bit like collecting something. You're always going to be going out looking for just a cool, dusty old antique store or something like that, no matter where you are. And so you may find something, you may not. It's kind of the thrill of the hunt a little bit.
And so Chris has written a book. It came out last year, correct? It's called Southeast Foraging. And will you share with us some examples that people can find here in the Lowcountry and that they can utilize?
Yeah, so the first plant I have, or tree, this is called Red Bay. It's a tree that grows all over the Lowcountry here, grows all along the coast, even in the Gulf Coast. And it's very similar to a bay laurel tree. The leaves look just like them. The tree that grows just like it, because a lot of people will plant a bay tree.
Right. And you'll be using this today at the Wine and Food Festival, right?
Yes. So I will be in the hands-on kitchen tent at the Culinary Village today doing a demo on how to use this to make an infused digestif. So digestif is just a type of alcoholic drink that you sip on after dinner. So if you're familiar with Amaro or Fernet Branca, things like that, that's a digestif. So something that's very strong that you sip on to help digest your food after a very big meal.
And so that's something that you'll be using to infuse that. And then we have time for just one more that folks can find here in the Lowcountry and how they can utilize that.
So one of my all-time favorite wild edibles is pine needles. There's a lot of jokes about have you ever eaten a pine tree from Yule Gibbons back in the 70s and stuff like that. But pine needles, they're extremely high in vitamin C, about 500 times more vitamin C than oranges. And a lot of...
You can just eat those?
Not necessarily. So most of the time you can make a tea with this. And so if you think about what a tea is just a flavored liquid. So thinking along those lines, you can flavor milk with this and make a meringue, and so the meringue tastes like Christmas. Or infusing this into alcohol, or different things like that, or stuffing quail with this to impart that kind of piney, citrusy flavor. Because pine needles, if you crush these up, this is a longleaf pine. If you crush these up and smell them, they're going to be very citrusy, a little bit piney. They don't smell or taste like pine sol. They're just really, really flavorful and really high in vitamin C because people used to get scurvy.
And you have much more of these in your book that of examples on how to forage here in the Low Country, Southeast Foraging. This is Chris Bennett. He will be at the Charleston Wine and Food Festival today. Look out for him. Again, it all kicks off at 11 o'clock and will end tonight at 8:30. Stay with us. We will be right back.